Rick Byros, President of Food Safety Tech, here at the Supply Chain Vulnerabilities Conference with Barbara Levin, Senior Vice President of Marketing at SafetyChain Software. We've seen at this conference the identifying different types of vulnerabilities within the supply chain. Things and issues that food processors, retailers, growers all need to be aware of, contaminants that possibly can be coming into their facility from their suppliers. So this talked a lot about some of the things that would scare people and going, I didn't know that that could even exist or that could really hurt my company. Barbara, your company provides technology solutions in helping manage these vulnerabilities, and I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about some of those solutions.
Okay, great, thank you. It's interesting that our company is named SafetyChain, and the reason for that is we really are a safety chain that stays a step ahead of the food supply chain to enforce food safety and quality at all points along the supply chain. Basically, whether it's raw ingredients or supplies coming in, production, finished goods going out, what we do is prevent non-compliant supplies from coming in and non-compliant or out-of-spec finished goods from going out. Sort of a smoke alarm in the sky to help companies find the problems at the earliest point possible and the ability to take corrective action before something gets out of hand. And if you look at the smoke alarm versus the fire, which is having to trace back, how did that happen? What do we need to do to repair it? How much is it going to cost? It's a cloud-based solution. So a company's suppliers, for example, can use a variety of formats. Computers, forms on their iPads, information that's coming directly from testing equipment. All goes into the solution in the cloud, where all the results are immediately analyzed according to specifications. If they pass, COAs are issued and it can go to the next part in the chain. Maybe that is to the manufacturer, maybe that's the finished goods COA, to the customer who will then release the goods, so it speeds throughput. Those two tests that didn't pass, an alert is sent to the right person or people so that immediate corrective action can be taken, and therefore the smoke alarm. It's end-to-end. We cover in all the inbound pieces, all the production pieces, as well as the outbound pieces. And we're very excited to hear in this conference everybody talking about finally the need for technology to be used for all of these amazing challenges that people are facing.
Yesterday we heard from Alice Johnson at Butterball talking about their company's use of technology in helping with the supply chain. Can you elaborate a little bit about the length of time or how short it took for Butterball to go from, yes, we're using this technology, to how long it might have taken for them to actually implement it and have it up and working? Is it a long process or short?
Well, we have a very, very fast implementation. It's one of the advantages of a software as a service-based solution, because you're not configuring or customizing in-house solutions that cost a lot more, like an ERP system. We work with their ERP system. But they are vertically integrated, and they've chosen to do phases, so that they're starting with their production facilities first, then they'll onboard the suppliers, then they'll look to the finished goods. So they were actually up and running very quickly, and have already seen positive results from the solution. Ron Wells, who's their CIO, who I speak to often, has said, if you can prevent just one bad batch of product from going to a customer, then the system really pays for itself. Not only in terms of that you were able to not send it, so you didn't have the cost of bringing it back, but then that has goodwill with the customer. Sure. Because you're not sending them compliant goods. So they're in their second phase now, bringing all their labs on board. And they're going to, in a few months, begin the next phases, which involve tie into their ERP.
So can you talk on a couple points of ROI, or return on investment, for food companies using this type of technology? What should they expect? What should they put on their radar screen this is an investment, but what is the return on that investment, and what can they expect?
Absolutely. So there's a variety of areas where our customers are experiencing ROI. One of our customers, before they started to use our system, had a $1 million shipment. This is an agricultural customer rejected by a client. If they had been able to get the information to them on time, they might have been able to take corrective actions. And since then, they have saved a lot of money because of this alerting feature. For example, let's say a customer has a product that needs to stay refrigerated and cannot go above 44 degrees.
Sure.
The system gets the information directly from the machines, wherever they are, and can send out an alert at 40 degrees, so that you've got ROI right there because you had enough time to go and fix that problem before you had to wind up basically getting rid of all the inventory. Our customers were seeing huge savings in just the entry of information. You know, all of the entry. If you've got hundreds of suppliers and hundreds of customers, you have people that are doing nothing but data entry all day long. And manual processes mean errors, so there's a lot of savings there. And again, if you can keep contaminated goods from coming in, or non-compliant goods from coming in, and contaminating all of your production food, there's huge savings there as well, again, as the savings of your customers being able to speed throughput and get your customers' product faster. You don't have to hold until it spoils, as we heard somebody speak about. You don't have to ship and pray. It's real-time analysis. And I know, well, that's what people say, because everybody's getting the information in real time. And so if you can get product to your customers faster, that's also a huge competitive edge.
Sure. Can you talk a little bit about the suppliers' either resistance to, or buy-in, or reaction to something like this type of solution?
One of my favorite subjects, and we have a lot of conversations with a lot of people about this. You know, we think that if it can be made easy for suppliers want to be able to do this. It actually makes it easier for them to communicate with their customers. I think the problem that's happening now is suppliers are getting hit from every direction, from all their customers, want them to implement something, and they want them to pay for it. One of the things that is a beauty of SafetyChain for food is that it's a cloud-based solution. It's very easy and simple to use and to implement. We're a software as a service company. We onboard the suppliers for our customers, and there's no charge to the suppliers. The other beauty is our system is designed to integrate with any other product. We know that there's no one product in a company's food safety and quality enterprise. There's distribution systems. There's the ERP actual supply chain systems. Excuse me. So there's a best-in-class enterprise architecture. And our system is designed to be able to receive from and send to data from multiple systems. So we can come to suppliers and say, yes, we know you're getting hit on the head from all of your customers, but you can actually use this solution. There is no cost to you, and you can use this to send information to all of your customers instead of having to buy one from everybody. So we're hoping, and we're seeing adoption because of that. And I think that the suppliers, like I said, I think it's a given. Think about 20 years ago, people weren't able to fax things or think about email. I think the food industry is starting to realize with this global food supply chain. Somebody mentioned yesterday that, hey, we want all products at all times. We don't care what season it is, and we want them to be safe. And there's not going to be a way to comply with all of these evolving regulatory and non-regulatory and customer-driven requirements without technology. So the cloud-based technologies that don't have firewall issues, and they're secure clouds. It's not an open cloud. Not everybody can see everybody's test results. I think it's actually going to drive supplier adoption because it's making it easier for them.
Last question. There might be some readers out there of food safety tech who say, great, Butterball, I mean, we're nowhere near that size of that kind of company. Is this technology available to small and mid-sized companies?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that, again, is one of the beauties of today's cloud-based or software as a service-based solutions, because they're very, very scalable. Because you're not implementing a big, large ERP system, for example, and then trying to onboard your suppliers with that. It really goes by the number of modules, the number of plants, the number of customers, and so it's a very, very affordable solution for companies with $20 million in revenue to hundreds and hundreds of millions and millions of dollars in revenues.
Great.
And that's the scalability of the software as a service technologies that are coming into the food safety market today.
Well, great. We've appreciated your participation and support with this conference, and look forward to continuing to help provide exposure to the technology that you guys offer to ultimately help the industry provide safer products for their customers.
And we're very excited too. For those of you who did not come, you should come to the next one to finally have, we've been looking for this for a long time. You are now fulfilling something that's been on my wish list. There's so many conferences, and of course they're all important, but so many of the conferences are focused on the problems, are focused on what do we need to do for FSMA and GFSI. I can't list all of the regulatory, non-regulatory requirements. I think everybody believes that technology has to be part of the solution, and I'm so excited that Food Safety Tech is now providing forums both online and in terms of events like this for people to address how technology can help them, and I think it's very exciting.
That's the goal. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.